In order to simplify the given fraction here, we need to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. And that's because we cannot have an imaginary number in the solution of our expression, I guess. So our conjugate here is going to be 1 minus 7i, and we will do the same thing in the numerator. Okay, so we're going to expand both our numerator and denominator using FOIL. So our first term we would get by multiplying 2 times 1. Then 2 times negative 7i is negative 14i. Next we can multiply negative 5i times 1, that's just negative 5i. And finally negative 5i times negative 7i is positive 35i squared. Next, our denominator. Now, the benefit of multiplying by the conjugate is that if we were to use FOIL here, our middle two terms would cancel each other out. We'd have positive 7i and negative 7i, so we can ignore them. They would cancel out. What we will have, though, is 1 times 1, and then 7i times negative 7i. So that would be negative 49i squared. Great. Now we continue simplifying this by combining some like terms. We can combine in our numerator here, we've got a negative 14i minus 5i. Combining those together, we would get negative 19i. And then over here, we've got this 35i squared. Remember that I squared is the same thing as negative 1. So 35 times negative 1 is just equal to negative 35. So we're going to be subtracting 35 there. In our denominator, let's think what would be negative 49, or just, times I squared. Well, 49 times I squared is the same thing as 49 times negative 1, which is negative 49. Now, because it's being subtracted in our denominator, we are actually going to be adding the 49 there. Great. Next, we can combine these two constants in our numerator. So 2 minus 35 is negative 33. We'll leave that 19i alone. And then our denominator simplifies to 50. Awesome. Now to get it in the final format that they're asking for, a plus bi form, we're just going to separate this into two different fractions. So our first fraction would be negative 33 over 50, and then we're going to subtract 19 over 50 times I. And that would be the format that they would be asking for. All right, that's all for this video. Thanks for choosing JD's Prep.